Okay. Hoping that recording works tonight. Apologies for those that were relying on having a look at last week's Zoom. We just had technical issues. My computer is running out of storage space, so I've tried to fix it for this week. We'll see if it works or not. Um, okay, so grand finals. We've got our first lot of women's grand finals this week. So I'm going to announce the field umpire appointments. Congratulations to these umpires: the women's Div 6 grand final, Simon Johnson, Michael Samet. Women's Div 5 grand final, Michael Hareem and Alison McMeekin. Should be a really good game between Walkerville and St. Peters. They've been close all year. Women's Div 4 grand final, Max Kenwood and Jamie Thompson. And the women's Div 3 grand finals, Jack Fleming and David Lokell. So well done to you guys. In the coaching notes, I'll send out the boundaries and goals as well. Just a reminder, anyone that's got a grand final or a prelim final for the women's games this week, got to pay the entry fee. You're sick of me saying that, but just to remind everyone the change of process this year. You pay your entry fee and you get reimbursed with the match payment. I will attach a list of Umpire Association members to the email if you just want to double check that you're on that list. Obviously, we've said you're only eligible for a grand final if you're a member, so I know a lot of you have done that recently, and you can just check your names on there. We've got a schnitzel night coming up this Wednesday night at training. Even though we've had a lot of rain, obviously over the weekend, we're going to train no matter what. Like, it's not going to be pouring down between now and Wednesday night. Might get a little bit of rain, but even if the oval is in really bad nick, we will find a way to have training Wednesday night. So you can stop thinking that we might be cancelling again. We will not. And after training, we've got the schnitzel night at the British Hotel. John Cronshaw is organising the first 25 umpires that contact him to get a half price schnitzel and a free drink. So I think he's got about 15 that have RSVP'd to him. So there's another 10 or so that can get that really good deal. So I'll include John's email address in the coaching notes that come out. Only one milestone this week. It's the first men's Div 1 gamer, a new field umpire. So well done to Tyson Usher, who will be running around in Div 1 for the first time this week. Okay, any questions or comments from anyone for before we have a look at the coaching video? Feel free to raise anything that's crossed your mind in recent times. No? All right. Coaching video it is then. So we have our last coaching video for the year, number 10. So we've got two Zooms to go, and we're going to have two AFL field umpires join us as we've done for the last few years. So got one of them organised. We'll get another one shortly. Okay. Just bear with me. Again, this is always a bit tricky as I set this up. Okay, here we go. All right, so I've got three what's your decisions to start with, and then just some reminders about basic philosophies, some of the stuff we've gone over the year, being our last coaching video. A good chance just to recap some of the stuff as we go into finals, what we should be focusing on. Okay, some good what's your decisions here. Jamie Thompson, do you want to unmute yourself? Grand final umpire. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
You've got a bit of a tricky one here. I'll be interested to see what you say. We'll play it out.
I have watched it. So
Oh, you haven't watched it? All right.
I have watched it. No, I have
Oh, you
watched
have
it.
watched it? Okay, cool.
Yep.
There's three different outcomes you can come up with here. So just let it play out. All right, what's your take on it, mate?
Yeah, I watched it a few times. I watched it in slow-mo in particular, and the first reaction is a it looks like a high tackle when you first watch it, but that's being this far away. But when you slow it down, you can actually see the guy take the ball, look up, and then try to duck under the arm.
Yep.
So I reckon I would have paid holding the ball there.
Okay. So, as I said, there's three different outcomes here. You could pay a high tackle. Uh, you would pay a high tackle if you weren't sure whether he ducked or not. And if you happen to pay a soft high tackle, it's not the end of the world. But I think we can all see that he does duck. So it's not the correct answer there. The big choice here is between a ball up, as Greg chose to do, or holding the ball. Jamie, what's your rationale for calling holding the ball?
As soon as you duck, that's the end of your prior. And if you don't, and if the ball's not disposed of properly, it's holding the ball.
Um, yeah, I'm actually not 100% certain on the if you duck, that's your prior. Um, I reckon prior is still a chance to handball or kick.
But there's no attempt to do that. So
Okay, so that's the other big question is there a um is there a genuine attempt? And what have I done here? Can you guys still
and now,
see the video? Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's right. So yeah, I guess even if you've had no prior opportunity, you must make a genuine attempt.
yeah. But if you
Um,
look at the, I think the thing there where Greg's positioned, he's probably on the wrong side to see there's no genuine attempt.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think it's horrible, wrong choice to call for a ball up. You can actually justify it. Is anyone looking at that example adamant that it should be a ball up? Because yeah, you can argue either way. Someone else want to add to the holding the ball argument?
Colin,
Happy
it's
to.
Mike.
Yeah, Michael.
I just think he should have held his whistle for another 1 or 2 seconds, and then you'd see naturally incorrect disposal at the end of it.
That's actually a excellent point. Excellent point. I was actually just talking about this with the guys in the office before. I made that exact same thing. So there really isn't a prior there. He's tackled immediately. He does sort of tuck the ball in and just not really make an attempt. So he's actually looking for the free kick. That's why he does duck. So if you hold the whistle when he realizes he's not going to get the high tackle free kick, you'll often find in that situation that the player will make a rush attempt to get it out, and it will sometimes spill out, and you can call play on. So that's a really good call. If you just delay your whistle there, and then what it does do is if it doesn't come out, sort of everyone's realizing that you're waiting to pay, holding the ball. So it's less of a surprise. So yeah, good point, Michael. All
Oh,
right.
can I just add something to that as well?
Yeah, sure, mate.
I think it's a common misconception that ducking is prior. There's really, apart from an obvious prior, it's an evade or offend, or if you drive your head at a player, but just ducking with no prior like that, that's just foregoes his opportunity for a high tackle. I think he's had no. I thought it was a good decision. It was
Yeah,
just a ball up.
I wouldn't mark it wrong if, actually can't remember what I marked this in this grand final, but I'm not fussed with a ball up. I think that the AFL have gone down the path of if you shrug, it's considered your prior. But I still think it comes down to what's the attempt? Is there a genuine attempt? And I don't reckon his attempt there is to get rid of it at all. He just sort of tucks it underneath the arm, but there isn't much time, so I'm not fussed with the ball up. Personally, I'd probably play holding the ball, but as Michael said, by just delaying the whistle slightly to see if he makes an attempt. Yeah. All right, good discussion there. Let's move it on. Move it on, play on. Um, uh, Mark Goods. Haven't heard from you for a while. You want
Sure.
to have you seen the video, mate? Hang on, you just unmute. You just muted yourself again. Yeah, we got you. Oh, you kick. There you go.
Got it.
Have you had a look at it yet? Before?
I have, yes.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Much higher up because of there's definitely goals still available in this quarter. 17 minutes late, plenty of time. These two teams, they versed each other twice throughout the season. In round 11, it was actually a 44-point win for St. Brass. Massive.
All right. Is there anything there you would do differently to what Rashi did?
No. I thought the Sacred Heart player tackled correctly immediately upon taking possession of the ball. No prior to dispose. Ball up, correct decision.
Okay. Anyone want to add anything to that?
I'd speak to the Port District player about dragging the opposition player off the pack as well.
Okay. So I would do more than talk to him. Really, at the end of the day, is there any need for him to grab him and pull him vigorously like it is out? To me, that's holding the man. And he might have it in his head that he's doing it because the other player has done something, but we're there to control something, to control the situation. And if the Sacred Heart player had done something to pay a free kick, it's not up to the Port District player to come in and grab him and pull him aside like that. So yes, you saw what I was looking for, Cross, but I would do more than just talk to him in that case. Just pay a free kick, good control, free kick to pay. So everything else, Mark, I agree there was nothing else there. I was looking for someone to pick up on the fact that they would penalise that Port District player for coming in and doing what he did. All right. Next one. I ask the same guys all the time, so I'd like to see if I can. Ali McMeekin, see you're online. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Hey, Colin, I'm still at work and I realised
you
I was
haven't had a
late
look
for
at it?
this call. No,
That's
not
cool.
yet.
Hey, by the way, you're umpiring with Will this week.
Oh,
Yeah. It'd be nice to do a grand final with your son.
amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Enjoy.
Thanks, Colin.
Rob Kane.
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, mate. Don't tell me you haven't watched either.
No, I've been flat out today.
All right. Let's go back. Gory, surely President of the Umpires Association, watched the video?
Certainly have.
Good on you, mate. All right. Give us your third one.
I like Sal's decision. Initially, I thought, well, that's
Hang on. Let's just play it out. Let's play it out.
Okay.
Just uncontested in the ruck when it was a block, so free.
All right. Really interesting on this one. What did you make of it?
Well, initially, to be honest, I thought, well, that's obvious. That's in the back. Then I thought, hang on, let's have a re-look at it. And I thought Sal's decision was, in hindsight, was correct. Shepherd and ruck. Block.
Is that what Sal actually played?
I thought he played a block.
I think he's played the push.
Yeah, it was. So it was blocked by Jai Siddle.
Against Hope Valley. That is a glorious kick.
Let's have a look again.
Ball still up. Kick forward for Fitzroy. Leg possibly holding on.
In the ruck when it was a block, so free kick going away.
Commentator said block. Anyway.
Colin, Mark.
Yeah, mate.
I'd call third man up infringement.
Well,
Why?
Well, there's who's the ruckman there?
So
There was one guy
we
in
don't
blue.
have ruck nominations, mate. There's only one player from each side trying to contest that ruck. There's no third man up.
Really?
Well, it's a handball back.
Okay.
All right. So just remember, we are not just because someone contests the ruck that you aren't expecting them to. They look like another guy that's going to, but he stands back, doesn't contest it. So the question is here: is it a push in the back or is it a block in the ruck?
Then I'd call it a block.
Well, I think anyone that thinks it's a block is wrong.
Yeah, Colin, I've got a view on this. this is one of my pet hates where a ruck will come from 30 metres away and expect you to hold play while he gets there.
Yeah.
So I'm not inclined to wait for a ruck that comes from a long way away. I just pull it up. And if he's late to the contest, too bad. And if he pushes someone out of the way to get there, again, too bad. That's just a push. That's what I would pay there.
Spot on, mate. Spot on. So if you actually have another good look at it, the guy that gets pushed has no idea that this guy's running from 30 metres away to contest the ruck. And he just gets shoved in the back. And I'm pretty sure that's what Sal paid, is a push in the back.
Yeah.
So, yes, I can see why you're all thinking, oh, maybe that is a block. But if you think about it, the blocks are for if they deliberately get in their way and stop him running at the ruck. But in this case here, the guy running in late is late to the contest. And, yes, we aren't waiting for him. He's coming from miles away. And he's just shoved the bloke in the back. So, yeah, I reckon that's a clear-cut push in the back, which I think is what Sal played. All right, so good discussion point. I understand where some of you started thinking block, and there will be issue at times in a ruck contest where they do get in the way of the ruck and you need to pay a blocking free kick. I just don't think in that situation it's one of those cases. All right, let's roll through the tape. Just some reminders, I guess, as we watch our last coaching video for the year. Just our key focus areas, some of the messages we've gone throughout the year. So good set kick controls are real key to umpiring performance. This is a thing we need to get right. So the thing I love about this, Alison, you're on the line there. Alison comes running in really quickly as the number 2 umpire. She's there watching the player with the ball, calls play on immediately, and it allows the other umpire, Seb Henderson, to get down for the next contest to play. So really well done from both. In this case here, Paul, there's a last possession free kick. He's there. Ideally, we would like the player not to kick it so quick, and maybe we can voice our instructions quicker. But at the end of the day, yes, he has to go out of bounds before he takes his kick. So that's what Paul insists on. And here, Vic does a good job in telling the players what's required, bringing around the angle, making sure the player's on the mark. Really good set kick control. I think that was the Div 6 Women's Grand Final last year from memory. Bales' 1000th game. So, yeah, the set kick controls are key to our umpiring. Protect the ball players is one of our mottos that we say over and over. So, whether it's a push to the back, like this example here, player first the ball, you've got to really look after that player.
12 gone.
It can be pushing the back, or it might be holding on or high contact. In this case here.
Finally looking to go to this grandstand side, holds up with the breeze and goes up. Controls the ball pretty well.
Holding on, but the ball's filled free, clearly filled free, and then taken the ground. Advantage was paid, but yeah, the right free kick was paid in that scenario. With this one here, it's the player coming front on collects the player high, so we need to protect the player who's first to the ball, got his head over the ball. Take no shit. Love this saying. When you need to step up and take control and penalise players for doing the wrong thing. In this case here, it's just silly. Just goes and pushes the player over. Yes, he fell on the ground a little bit easier, but he just did not need to be pushed like he did. So immediately, I think it's Gav Jeep pays the 25 and gets the message across that it was not the right thing to do. In this case here, it's a really good pick up to the side off the ball. Actually, not sure how Gerald was able to get that, but he saw the player being thrown to the ground, was able to penalise rightfully and pay the free kick. And this one, I think, is a free out disposal as a player. Gets the kick away. Make sure you keep your eye on the last act of play. Yeah, it's a push downfield. Pretty crucial stage of close Div 3 grand final last year. And rightfully paid. So, yeah, one thing that I always go on about, we want to be tough on those players who are on the ground and grab the ball instead of knocking it out. If they cause the pack to develop and just sit on it, he's not doing much else there, just waiting for the ball up, which doesn't come, thank goodness. If you do this early on in the game, the players get the message and then they keep the ball moving. I think we might have seen this on a coaching video recently for a different reason, just for Bo's good positioning. But players on the ground just pulls the ball back underneath him. Really good decision. I think Bo might have pointed the wrong way and ran the wrong way, but they might have got the decision right. And similarly here, player goes to ground, just grabs the ball. We really want him to knock it clear. And a good holding ball decision made by Bentley. And brings the player back over the mark. So just obvious and blatant free kicks. We don't want to go looking for free kicks. We want to stand out and pay the ones that everyone can see and are expecting to be paid. There's not much happening here until the last bit where a leg's grabbed. So he just let the play go. It was Brett Crowes, just let the play go, and then the obvious and blatant free kick hit him in the face and was able to pay it. So similarly here, play continues, not much to see. Just let them play it until player just lands in the ball player's back. And so good ball player, free kick, obvious and blatant to everyone that's watching. Alison, you're featuring a couple of times in the coaching video this week. And more women's footy. It's the theme of the week with the women's grand finals. And so a high contact, good movement by Seb to get around and be able to see that. And you really do want to make sure you don't miss those ones, because that's where players get upset if they get taken high. So just a couple of examples at the end too. If we can let them play footy, we don't need to intrude on every game. If they're contesting the ball fairly and all going after the ball with no obviously blatant free kicks, we can just let it play out. I actually had a phone call from Jim Parkes from the PAC giving a compliment to Chris Rash and Charlie Collins on the weekend. He just said it was great. They didn't pay any soft free kicks, so let the play go. And if we can do that, we can't always do it. If we can do it, then I know the players, coaches appreciate the fact that we don't have to intrude when there's nothing there to pay. So yeah, just a couple of good examples of the play. This is in the men's Div 5 grand final last year. Might be Aiden. Just letting it go. There's some tough contests there. Players like throwing their hands up for free kicks, but nothing to pay. And at the end of the day, we just let it go without getting involved. So all these philosophies stay the same for every match, for whatever grade and whatever time of year. Even if we've got wet grounds, whatever weather conditions, it all stays the same. If a player's on the ground and grabs the ball and causes a pack to develop on a wet day, it does no different to a dry day. We just stay consistent that way if we keep these philosophies all year round. So any questions on that? Any comments at all before we wind up?
Colin, I just thought of something watching that clip.
Yeah.
We had one on the weekend, like a free kick after disposal, but it was like a really short sort of kick. So it wasn't a handover. So Paul had it and I was going to be a handover. It was a bigger kick, but he didn't see because it was such a short kick, he couldn't see who it landed near, and I wasn't watching because I was watching the next active play.
Yeah.
And so we didn't know who should be taking the kick. So what do you want us to do in that situation? Just sort of guess as best as we can, because
players aren't going to be worried about it. Just as long as it goes.
They were worried about it because Mitch Grigg walked over and took the kick, and he had a shot at goal from where he was because he could sort of do that from anywhere, and they didn't know, and we obviously didn't know either. But so in that situation, I thought you would not mind, as they've given away a free kick anyway, so it doesn't.
Yeah,
they're sort of been punished for it anyway.
Ideally, if you see the player that's closest to the ball where the ball lands, you pay it to him. But at the end of the day, mate, I very much doubt there's going to be anyone concerned as long as you paid the right free kick and you're giving it to the right team. Yeah, technically, if we can find the player that is nearest the ball, then we pay it. But Yeah. There weren't any opposition players complaining about it, were there?
No, they were just saying it wasn't his kick, but it was the right team. So yeah, like you said.
Did he kick a goal? Probably.
No, he didn't. He missed across the face.
He's not a bad kick, so I can understand why they might have been a little
Yeah.
bit upset on it. But at the end of the day, mate, yeah,
Yeah,
if
if it
you
was
don't
anyone
play, you
else,
don't
they
know.
probably
And,
wouldn't have
yeah,
cared. But yeah, all good.
they're going to find something to whinge about, aren't they? But I don't think that's a real problem. Yeah. You could always ask them to hold up and we go to the videotape and check it out. And no, I'm being silly.
Instant replay. Yeah, what's it called? The arc.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, anyone else? All right. So we're getting towards the end of the year, obviously. We've got 2 rounds to go in the men's footy. We've got women's grand final starting this week. Need to be at the top of our game. And all the best to those appointed to the grand finals. So do yourself and the group proud. It'll be a big day for the players and a big day for you guys. But just you've been appointed to those grand finals because of what you've done throughout the year. We know you're up to the task, so just go out there and enjoy it. And I'm sure we'll have some great footy. And then for the men's, yeah, there's some pretty important games coming up this weekend with finals and relegation spots up for grabs. So yeah, all the best. We'll just have the 2 Zooms coming up. Curtis the boy is going to come on next week and have a chat with us. Week after we'll organise another AFL an AFL field umpire to come and have a chat. So always good learning and listening to those very top umpires and what we can learn from them and hearing their stories. So haven't spoken to Curtis for a while. Thought it'd be worth getting him on again. So looking forward to that chat. All right. Looks like no one's got anything further to add. So we'll wind up now and we'll see you for the Schnitzel night on Wednesday night.